What is up, everybody? My name is Justin Gaming, and welcome to the very first episode of Gaming at its Core. Today, I'm joined by Blue Danger, Online
Yo.
ZHD,
What's
and
up?
Meal Kick Media. Alright, so like I said, this is our very first episode of Gaming at its Core, and it's going to be a gaming podcast that we're going to be trying to do as regularly as possible. Right now, we're going to try to do every week, but if it doesn't turn out, then we'll just try to do it as regularly as possible. But essentially, every podcast we're going to be going over a variety of different topics, most of them related to gaming, of course. So in today's gaming podcast, we're going to be going over 4 different topics as an introduction, of course. And the first one being the gaming news of the week. And then later we're going to be talking about Horizon and Zelda. Also, 2017 looking to be the best year for gaming, and finally our most anticipated games. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. The very first topic, of course, is the gaming news of the week. So yeah, of course, one of the biggest news topics is the Nintendo Switch. So guys, what are your impressions on the Nintendo Switch? I don't know, have any of you guys gotten the Nintendo Switch?
Not yet.
Absolutely not.
No?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
But I mean, it looks really interesting. I did buy Zelda for the Switch, so I'm definitely interested in getting it in the next couple weeks.
You bought
maybe
Zelda
weeks
already?
ahead. Yeah, I bought Zelda for the Switch because it was 20% off on Prime.
Oh,
and I am
okay.
planning on getting the Switch eventually, so I figured I'd buy it when it's cheaper.
Alright.
Since now Nintendo games never go down in price.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, it looks
That's
good.
so true.
Yeah. I mean, every single console, I guess, has its flaws. I've seen quite a bit for the Switch, so I guess it's good to wait. I mean, it's always good to wait, so there's that. I don't know. Blue, you played Zelda, if you want to go off of that. I mean,
Yeah, well, first about the Nintendo Switch, I agree with you 100% that I don't think it's justified buying one at launch, because let's be honest, if you're buying a Switch, you're buying it for Zelda. That's like, you're not buying it for 1-2 Switch, you're not buying it for the ports of
Yeah.
Wii U games, so I don't think it's
Yo, man.
justifiably.
I want to milk cows.
I wouldn't recommend buying a Switch just for what, or any console that matter, for one game. But I would recommend getting it at the end of the year, you know, when it's Christmas, got a price drop. Mario, Splatoon, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I think Xenoblade got announced, but I'm pretty sure that's 2018. And then you'll have all the E3 announcements for the games that are coming out this year. So I think Christmas is a much, much better time if you're going to look into getting a Switch. And in terms of Zelda, yeah, I've just come off playing it like 5 minutes before this podcast. Like, I've just been smashing Zelda for like the past 4 days. I think I've got about 30 hours in, and
Damn.
I'm literally barely out the starting area. Like, the game is just so vast and so dense. And the thing is about Zelda, people are like sort of confused as to how it's getting such high scores. You know, it's a 98 on Metacritic. It's getting 10s from people like Edge Magazine and GameSpot, IGN, people like that, all the big news industries. And I think with Zelda, it's not something that would appeal to everyone. Kind of like how The Witcher 3, in my eyes, is the best game I've made, but it's not for everyone. For Zelda, it's kind of, you've got to understand what makes Zelda good in order to justify that score. If you're coming in as a new player and you're not entirely familiar with the Zelda franchise, the mechanics, how the story plays out in most Zelda games, you're not going to be blown away by Breath of the Wild, at least from like a technical standpoint, because the game's not technically like impressive in terms of its gameplay mechanics, and it's the way the story's played out. It's not so much cinematic; it's more like text box, if you get what I mean. So it's more for those people that play Nintendo games like Pokemon. It's more aimed at that audience, like the Nintendo fan base, rather than the mass market. But if you're interested in the game, I would recommend picking it up.
yeah, to me, I mean, it just like kind of reinvents, or I wouldn't say reinvents, but does open world differently, I guess.
Yeah.
And we've seen like a lot of Ubisoft games, and really, you only get like a really good open world, maybe like if you're lucky, like every couple of years that really does something differently, or you know.
Well, I mean, with Zelda, in terms of side missions, there's these things called shrines, which are basically, for those who play Zelda before,
about them.
it's like miniature versions of dungeons. So like basically imagine a Zelda dungeon, but on steroids, but like in a miniature area. And there's hundreds of them throughout the game, and they're all unique. And I think that's so refreshing, considering the side missions, even in Horizon, like climbing tall necks and things, it's generally the same thing that we've already seen, just with a better concept. Like I think Horizon's universe is a better place to have side missions like that, because it's just more fun climbing a tall neck than it is taking over an outpost in Far Cry, because I'm not a fan of the Far Cry universe. But with Zelda, it's just such a breath of fresh air to see side missions with such variation. So,
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said. I guess going on to the sales standpoint, I think it's been selling pretty well. I think it even outsold the Wii in many territories, so looks like they're getting the support alongside it.
So would you say it's like 10 out of 10 masterpiece? Like, do you think it deserves really all that 10 out of 10?
I put the hours in, but I wouldn't say I'd judge the game so heavily because I'm just so early in. Once I beat the game, then I give a full justification of the score. But what I've played so far, there hasn't been any big flaws other than the frame rate. I'm playing the Wii U version, not the Switch version. But the frame rate is dodgy, and I mean really dodgy. It's kind of the same way The Witcher was, in the sense that it's not horrendous, but it is quite frequent. The frame drops aren't awful, but they happen quite a lot. They're not like just game breaking, but they are.
That's my biggest worry about it.
It's like really it's just really off-putting when you're playing it because of the kind of game it is. Like you need that stable frame rate. So.
But I was actually watching. I was watching a video where it was like comparing the frame rates between the Wii U version and the Switch version, and they were like pretty much the same, actually, right?
Yeah, well, I've seen that video as well. That's quite concerning from a Switch hardware standpoint that it can't actually outperform a now 5-year-old console.
That's the thing. I think with like Zelda, I'm not sure if it's like from a technical standpoint on the Switch or if they're just trying to make it similar. Because I do know they like said the only differences for Zelda on the Switch is that it just boots up faster and maybe things render into the open world quicker than they normally do on the Switch.
The Switch version is basically a port of the Wii U version, but the fact that it can't actually have like a solid 30 frames per second on a brand new hardware is quite concerning. But again, it is a port.
It's because the game's been in development for so long already, right? It was meant for the Wii U at first, so.
Yeah, I think with the Sheikah Slate, it was even going towards that point, but. Yeah, I mean, if anybody else wants to talk more about the Switch or anything else.
I was actually just wondering about Zelda, but like, I don't know about you guys, but do you guys ever feel like even though I feel like this game probably is like really good, right? And obviously because it has been getting so many great reviews, but do you guys ever feel like the fact that this is Zelda, that many like gaming companies overlooked at the fact that the game is Zelda or something, like they overlook the flaws or something?
No, I see this all over the industry now. It's complete bullshit. Not every Zelda game is a masterpiece, and if you're someone who's played most Zelda games, they're not all as perfect as Breath of the Wild is getting scores in any sense. In fact, I think Phantom Hourglass and Majora's Mask are actually objectively bad games. But I'm in a minority thinking Majora's Mask's a bad game. But yeah, Zelda games are just great games. But I don't think nostalgia as a present factor as to why it's getting such good scores. I think Breath of the Wild is just a great game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that like the last game I played for Zelda was Wind Waker, so it's not like I've been bandwagoning Zelda or anything. In fact, I didn't really care towards Zelda until I saw it more recently up until this launch. So, I mean, I guess it's not really Zelda that intrigues me. It's just the way that this world works. But I mean, I've only played one Zelda game in my life, and that was like when I was a kid. So I guess there's not really much bias there. So I guess that's a good sign. But yeah.
I've never really played any Zelda games, so I mean, I really wanted to. Like, I saw that when the Switch was revealed, I really wanted to get the Zelda game, but like obviously we know how with like the reveal and everything. I basically thought about it, and like I decided if I'm gonna get a Switch, I'm gonna wait until later on to get it. But like, I remember, like, you guys know the Nintendo NES, right?
Yeah.
So like they had that classic edition, and I was trying to get it for so long, but like I still haven't gotten it.
Well, like the mini NES.
The mini one, because like I wanted it, like I was gonna get it day one, right? So I remember I left school early that day to go get it, and then like the moment I showed up at my like game shop, it was already sold out, and I was like, oh come on, are you serious? And then like I waited. They said they would get more stock by like the holidays, and like obviously we still didn't get any. So
dang.
Yeah, I don't know.
I heard they manufactured very little of those.
Yeah, I know they did. It was
demand or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, so like I wanted to try out like the original Zelda on that one, like Super Mario and stuff. Or no, was it not Super Mario? Just the original Mario Bros. But
I'm kind of scared to play Breath of the Wild because I heard it's like makes all the other Zelda games like weird, I guess, or like not as good in terms of gameplay, or they seem really very different. So I'm like, should I just play the other Zelda games before I play this? But yeah.
Well, I mean, from a mechanical standpoint, Breath of the Wild doesn't really like reinnovate the Zelda formula, but it is just more. It's cleaner. Whereas I played Twilight Princess, which is my favorite Zelda game of all time, and the gameplay controls. I played the Wii version. they're okay, but they can be really clunky, whereas Breath of the Wild is so much more smooth. It doesn't reinvent anything, it just sort of like irons out the problems with the previous Zelda games.
Yeah. Okay.
So more like a refinement.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 We'll move on to Uncharted.
Yeah, let's move on to Uncharted: The Lost
No,
Legacy.
I guess a lot of the people listening to this know that Uncharted: Lost Legacy is going to be kind of like Game Informer's like big game for their April's issue, and with that, we're going to get a lot more information onto the game and just its development. So far, we haven't had anything concrete like gameplay or dates, but they have given us some little, I guess teasers of what to expect of the game, and I guess they just said that they got 1 year to make this game. And that they're trying to contemplate whether that's going to be about, solely Sam, or if they're going to go into Cassie's. Yeah, I guess it's fine to say Cassie because I think everybody's beaten it by now.
Yeah.
But
it's been like almost a year, so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't beaten the game by now, what the fuck are you doing?
To be honest, yeah, that's true. But I guess they said it's just going to be a lot more personal, grounded story. Kind of like the gameplay reminded me of The Last of Us. So in terms of the story, they're also saying it's going to be more grounded. So I guess that's good there. It's going to be taking place in India, if you guys couldn't tell, or I'm just talking about that audience. But yeah, Chloe's part Indian, so she's going to be finding out a lot more about her personal
I actually did not know that before. The PSX.
Yeah.
What was it? The panel? I didn't know about that at all.
Nah, I don't think they ever really hinted at that though in the previous games. So I'm
it's
pretty
probably
sure
just like in her like Wikipedia or something.
Mm-hmm. Going through the news, I guess a little bit, more going into more of it. One thing that really struck out to me as pretty cool, or just got me excited, is that they said that the single largest level ever done in Uncharted is going to be in the Lost Legacy, and that even tops Madagascar, which to me is kind of crazy because you guys all know how big Madagascar was in terms of like a level design.
Yeah,
so that's
obviously.
pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and I guess they just said it's going to be more about like puzzles, environments, and a lot more collectibles to replay the game for. And
but I'm hoping that it sort of doesn't take away from the pacing, because I thought the first chapter of Madagascar, while it was big, it was beautiful, it kind of just hindered the pacing a little bit. So I hope that's not what happens in the Lost Legacy, and they just don't go out the way to make it bigger rather than like pacing.
They did address that. They did say the pacing was going to be a lot better in Lost Legacy, which is good. The Jeep's returning, some tools. It said that it did feel like Uncharted, which is kind of weird to me because at PSX it definitely seemed more like The Last of Us with the lock picking and just the camera angles. But other than that, I'm probably not going to go too much into the spoilers the digital issue got about the villain, but the villain's pretty much, like the main villain of like, any Uncharted game. It's like some descendant from one of these past warlords, and they're turning, take the
he
treasure.
Said he thought it was like his birthright or something, right? The
it's
tusk
like his
or something.
past, or like belonged to him for his birthright, and they're gonna be. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention. I guess if nobody knows, it's Nadine and Chloe, so they're gonna be going into more about Nadine's, I'm guessing, past, or like what drives her. And Chloe, of course, is also a fan favorite. They did mention there is gonna be some kind of multiplayer to the game, but that's kind of vague, so we don't know if it's just going to be, it's going to connect.
That just seems a bit weird.
Yeah, it did seem very weird, but...
Click multiplayer and it links you to Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
Yep. But other than that, just I guess they said that there's going to be a silent pistol that you get for a lockpick reward, which is really, really cool. Drake has a journal, Chloe has a phone. There won't be any more crate puzzles, so if those people found that as an issue... I didn't find that an issue in Uncharted 4, but apparently a lot of people did. But yeah, I guess they said it's going to be a lot more, puzzle-based, and... Chloe can't climb as good as Drake can, so there's that. But yeah, I think that sums it up pretty good. But yeah, if anybody wants to go off of that, what you guys think about that?
No, I just wanted to quickly talk about, did you guys see the thing on Twitter where Josh Scher was like talking about the things?
Yeah. That's also another thing I forgot to mention. So
yeah,
I guess
because
you went to it since you brought it up.
Basically Josh Scher on his Twitter account, he was talking about like basically when Zelda came out, it was getting all these great reviews, and he was talking about like can everyone please stop telling me that it's so good, because obviously he doesn't have the time to play it right now because he's working on The Lost Legacy. And then he's like, basically he said something about like he'll be like able to play it in like 6 months from now, and obviously like a lot of people were like, oh, does this mean like that's when The Lost Legacy will come out? Like, will development be wrapped in 6 months? So 6 months from now is like, I think it's like around September, I believe.
Yeah, I think
September.
they'll probably go gold maybe in September, but I don't see this game coming out in the summer. I do think this maybe be in early October or something like that.
Yeah.
But, I guess it's...
Because in the summer they already have like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
And
maybe Shadow of War might, make it push a little bit farther.
I think they're going to release it at some point between the Shadow of War and Red Dead, because they're going to want to try and hit that September-October release window, because let's be honest, Red Dead is just going to drown out anything that's around that game because it's just got so much hype behind it.
True.
So from a business standpoint, they're going to want to look to get it out in that September-October window, just before the Call of Duty, Battlefield, that type of thing happens, and then obviously Red Dead at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It seems like they're treating this like a real game, like in a standpoint, like a big expansion. So I'm guessing they're gonna treat this release as like a big thing. So I'm guessing they're gonna want to have their own time. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, how long do you guys think the game's honestly gonna be? Because like I've heard some people saying it's only gonna be like 3 hours.
6 hours. Oh,
6
I
hours?
heard 6. I heard 6. They said it's gonna be in between. Yeah, you can go.
Because at first I would always, because like they're like, oh, it's gonna be longer than Left Behind, right? But like I honestly didn't think it would be that much longer. Because like Left Behind, I think I was able to beat in like just under 3 hours, I believe, my first time. So at first I was thinking like maybe like 4 hours at most. But like now people are saying like 5 to 6 hours or so, which I think is definitely really cool.
They did mention that they were going to originally make this as big as like what an Uncharted 5 would be.
Yeah.
But then they did scale it down a little bit. So I'm guessing it's going to be pretty lengthy because they, had like at least a year for it. And since they made Uncharted 4, it should be a lot easier. I'm thinking this is at least going to be at least 5 hours. I would hope so, because it seems like it's definitely going to be a bigger thing. I mean, if we're following the release schedule from Last of Us and Left Behind, it should obviously be out by now, the DLC. So definitely in these next 6 months, I'm guessing this thing is going to be a lot more, I guess, to scale bigger. And I'm hoping the big environments help it out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just from looking,
quality over quantity, but yeah.
I was just looking at those images like in the Game Informer thing, and then like I saw that one photo where Chloe and Nadine were standing like in that like jungle ruins, or I don't know where it was. Yeah, it just looked really cool.
Yeah, it
gave me like an Uncharted 2 vibe or something. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just looked really cool.
I think that's the big area they're talking about. Like, I think the big area they're talking about is in the jungle area, so that'd be cool. But, yeah. I mean, I'm not, like, before this, I was hyped for this game, but I've already been kind of satisfied with Uncharted. But then hearing all this news and everything just got me more hyped, and I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, after The Lost Legacy was announced, I was like, okay, yeah, that's really cool, right? And then, like, my hype level kind of went down a bit, because, Uncharted's over now. And then I've been playing other games, like Horizon, of course. And then, like, once seeing it again on the Game Informer cover, like, I got really excited again, so.
Yeah. I'm glad Chloe's going to be in it, because that's, like, I didn't want to leave Uncharted without knowing what happened or anything.
Yeah, because I was.
Yeah,
because obviously in Uncharted 4, we just, like, got a small reference about her.
Yeah, just like
and plus that was also optional as well, so people could have just easily skipped that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
Whereas with the Cutter's reference, it was part of a cutscene, so it was kind of more forced onto you about the reference to that character.
Yeah.
One thing I'm hoping though is that, I mean, I don't want to go too much into the political agenda crap, but I just with the way Nadine was presented in Uncharted 4, and I've said this on Twitter many times, it's sole purpose in that game is just to present as a service to feminist agendas. I'm just really hoping Neil doesn't go down that route with the way he deals with character development of Chloe and Nadine, that we get more of a fleshed out history between how them two met. Nadine as a character, because obviously with her being one of the main characters, we now get to see a lot more from her. I'm hoping it's not just like, I'm hoping it can go against what I've just said about her just being there as a service to feminism. I'm hoping that we get more context to her character that makes us like her as a character more. And with the whole thing on feminism, I think he went from Ellie, who was the perfect embodiment of a strong, independent woman who still presents her vulnerabilities, to Nadine, who's blatantly just a service to feminism. So I'm hoping that with two main female leads, that he kind of grounds it more towards presenting them as good as he did with Ellie in The Last of Us than he did with Nadine in Uncharted 4.
Can I say something? Neil's not working on it, is he?
No, I don't think he is, because he's working on The Last of Us 2, isn't he? So Josh Shear's writing this one.
Because I'm pretty sure like Sean Escage, is that his name? Yeah. He's like the creative director, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so doesn't that mean like Neil's not working on it at all? Because I remember seeing that one video where he was saying how he's like excited to see what the team puts together, which makes it sound like he's not involved in it at all.
It's gonna be good no matter what. I'm for sure of that. Going off what Blue said, there is gonna be a piece by Game Informer coming out later this month about the diversity in this game and just in general
yeah,
what it's trying to do. So yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be a pretty interesting topic for you, Blue, or just anybody involved. And Starks that's probably watching this, typing up all those comments and hateful replies to what Blue has just said. But yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to mention that the Starks is gonna probably be part of this thing.
Yeah, Jaden's gonna be here.
Yeah, let's just mention him half an hour into the podcast. As if it's mad enough already.
Yeah, well, he just couldn't make it to this episode, so
If
yeah.
he's watched this far, fucking after it and that, Jesus.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so I think that's good for the Lost Legacy. You guys want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we
Okay.
go to the main topic, I guess we probably should have done this earlier, but I guess we'll just catch up with everybody and what they're doing, I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. So basically, I guess I'll start. So basically this week, all I've been playing is Horizon Zero Dawn. That's all I've been doing. Even though like I definitely haven't played that much. I've maybe got only like 20 hours. But like, cause I'm quite a busy person. But I try to play as much as I can. I'm literally on the last story mission. I'm fighting. I'm just fighting the final boss. I'm not gonna mention it because obviously if some people are watching that,
I haven't played it yet. I don't even own the game.
Oh, okay. But like, yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun because like I remember when I played the game, I remember the first like 2 or 3 hours really had me hooked and intrigued with the story. Of course, basically like Aloy on her journey, right, trying to find out like not only about herself but what happened to the tribe, of course, and then like basically what happened with the the humans from so long ago.
We should probably talk about this in our Horizon piece, but if you want to keep going, that's good.
Oh,
but
okay.
like,
Yeah, true. But I just basically enjoyed it a lot more as I continued to play.
Yep. I
Yeah.
can say the same as well.
Yeah. So what about you guys?
Yeah. What else? I guess I'll go off of what you said. So far, I haven't really played much this week, and I'm glad. If anybody don't know, I did get Horizon early. I'll probably talk about this more, but I haven't really played many games this week, I guess I could say. BioShock I've been playing, but I haven't played it this week. Really, I've only tried out the PlayStation Plus games, which was Tearaway and Disc Jam. I haven't tried out Disc Jam. Oh my god, I can't even say that, but I did try out Tearaway and Disc Jam. And besides Disc Jam, which is like kind of like a Rocket League approach they're doing, Tearaway doesn't really grip me at all. I did play on the Vita though, and I don't know, just kind of slow to start right now. But the main game I have been playing this week, I guess the only like big game I've been playing this week is Dishonored 2, trying it out. I don't know why, but I always like play games when I don't even finish other ones because I haven't even finished BioShock yet. But I mean, to me, it's just like when I'm busy throughout the week, it's like when I want to play a game, I just want to play whatever I want to play. So I guess there's not really anything bad about that. But yeah, I've been playing for at least the first hour or so of Dishonored 2, and I'm trying to take it slow. I'm only like on the second level, and I've played this game for like 2 hours, so it's like I've been trying to take it slow, trying to find everything I can. It's a really cool game, and I guess I got my Horizon review up this week. I guess if you want to talk about that, we'll talk about that later on, but with the impressions. But yeah, I guess anybody else want to go off?
Well, I mean, that's interesting, the fact that you said that you move on to other games before you finish other ones.
Well,
With me, that's like kind of like I could not move on to another story game until I beat the game at hand because it just I feel like it would hinder your experience with the story far too much than just playing it out all in one go.
Yeah. Well, to me, I mean, BioShock is like the only game I'm playing story-wise right now. So, I mean, Dishonored 2 I've been playing kind of like the gameplay and the stealthy-ish thing. So, I mean, I try not to play multiple story games at a time because that definitely is kind of bad to do.
Yeah.
Like when I played Horizon, I definitely did not play any other game, and I just played that full frontally. And just gave all my attention to that game. About 30 hours into that. But yeah, I mean, Dishonored 2 is just kind of like a game that, I don't know. I guess BioShock, where I'm at right now, is just kind of like, I don't know, I'm in a place where it's just kind of annoying. I won't talk about it much, but like, I have some groups with BioShock, despite it being an awesome game. But yeah, I usually just play 2 or 3 games at a time. But yeah, you can go back with what you're saying.
Okay.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I mean, this week in gaming, I've been playing Horizon and Zelda, obviously. Really took me time with Horizon, wants to like really savor it. I literally put 50 hours in before I'd even beat the main story, and the story length, it's nowhere near that. But I just wanted to take so much time just to enjoy what was going on.
You put
the game is
50 hours before it.
Just like seriously.
Wait,
and I've just been playing around with the photo mode for like 4 or 5 hours alone. And just really trying to take in the beauty of the world, trying to do as many side missions as I can before I finish the game. It's such a good game.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun too. So.
And then obviously Zelda's just like, I mean, it's Zelda. Fuck, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Really enjoying that.
All right. Dan?
Yeah. I guess for me in games, I haven't really played a whole lot because you probably won't know this, but I recently just upgraded my PS4 hard drive from 500 gigabytes to 2 terabytes. So I've spent the majority of this week trying to reinstall my games. So I haven't played a whole lot, but I have tried out the 2 PS Plus games. I've tried out Disc Jam and Tearaway. I'm not really enjoying Tearaway at the moment, but Disc Jam actually I've been quite enjoying. Didn't think I would, but yeah, that's actually really surprised me with how good that was. And I've been playing a bit of Uncharted as well, and then this morning I was playing Steep, because obviously that's now free this weekend, so some of my friends were playing it, so I went on, playing online with them, but playing anything else this week just because I'm trying to install my games again. But yeah.
I do like how Ubisoft does that stuff where they make their games free for like a weekend. That's cool. But yeah.
All right. Okay, so should we move on to Horizon and Zelda then?
Yeah, I guess we talked about it quite a bit, but we're going to go into the full
we're just going to go more in depth with it, I guess. All right, so online, do you want to start with your impressions? I mean, you already did your review, right? So, I mean, but you can still talk about it.
So I got Horizon like a week earlier, so I think I mentioned this in like my early impressions, but pretty much did that because when I came back, I haven't really had any time to really play mini games. So I'm glad I did that, and during like that week off, when I had the time, I was able to put like about 30 hours into the game or so. Like I think I'm at like 35 now or so.
35 hours?
And yeah, I think I beat the story around 24, 25 or something like that. Because I was kind of hooked onto it.
Wait, can you tell me what level you were on I think
I'm at like when I beat the story.
Yeah, when you beat the story.
I think I beat the boss around 30, I'd say.
Okay, because right now I'm literally on level 30, and I was like just on the final boss mission before I quit and came here.
I got destroyed on the final boss.
I know, I tried like 3 times and I got killed.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I put my tools in a weird set, and I couldn't really change it in the final boss, so I was kind of screwed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Seeing gameplay back at it, like I've seen streamers play the final boss, and they're doing like 4 times the damage that I was doing onto it. And I won't really talk about like, what the boss gives you, but there is kind of like that. I think Justin, how there's like another factor into the boss about, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the game's challenging on itself, but I think with one of the issues I found with Horizon is that the skill tree is just kind of pointless. Like, you could just go through the whole game without even using a single upgrade, in my opinion, and just like be completely fine. I mean, you can pick up different armor upgrades and weapon upgrades along the way, but the skill tree itself is just, I don't see the point in it, to be honest. Some of the lighter RPG elements that are in the game, like the dialogue wheel, I just found quite irrelevant, to be honest, because it's not nearly as in-depth as anything like Fallout or The Witcher. So to say, I mean, it's kind of like, not entirely pointless, but what is there is really watered down, and it would have been better if it just was taken out the game. I don't think it necessarily needed all these different light RPG elements.
I kind of disagree with that, just because one of my biggest complaints about the game was the stealth on the actual like human raiders.
Oh, I agree with that.
I couldn't I like Tomb Raider the way they handled it. Like if you can get a headshot. I mean, I could see why, because it is kind of like a big RPG and there health bars and all that stuff. But like when you're trying to do missions where you're trying to go stealthily, it's just kind of hard to do so. But then I got like a skill point where I can like shoot multiple arrows at a time. So when I was able to do that, I'd be able to bind up like 3 arrows and then like aim for the head and be able to take one out relatively quickly without, alerting anybody. So that was helpful in some of like the stealth mechanics. But other than that, it wasn't really anything that good. But I think it's better than some of the other games I played. There's been some skill trees where it's just kind of ridiculous how pointless it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess building off of that, how I think of the overall game, the story's really good. Probably like one of my favorite parts of the game. I talked about this in my review. The gameplay I love. I think we can all say that the fights against the robotic dinosaurs, or I guess you can say the dinosaurs, robotic animals, are like the definitely highlight about this when you're like fighting a new species for the first time, not knowing how it will react or anything.
Yeah, the gameplay is fantastic. It really is.
Yeah. I don't really like the whole dialogue tree sometimes if they're like pointless, but it's not really that bad of an issue, but it kind of feels like Fallout 4, where it's like, just kind of pointless for animation wise, and there's just no facial features or anything like that. And I guess overall the game's really polished. There is like one thing I talked about this in my review. There's like one side quest that I finished, and when I went up to the guy, he just says like, how's the side quest going? I'm like, oh, I finished it, but he's not accepting it or anything, and even says that I finished it and I have to talk to him. It's kind of glitched about that, but maybe if I go back to the game now after a patch or so, it will be fixed. But yeah, the game is
I
pretty
found
polished.
Horizon to be really, really polished. I didn't encounter a single glitch, bug, or pop in throughout the whole like 50+ hour event.
Oh, I've found the animations a little clunky and other things like that, but nothing to really degrade the game much.
No.
I'd say.
Well, no, the facial animations are really stiff. Like,
Yeah.
they are really like emotionless at times.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, like if I want to go into my impressions, obviously,
Yeah.
the story, like obviously, like going into the game, right? Because since we know Guerrilla Games, they're not like their games previously, the Killzone games weren't necessarily known for their great stories or anything. It was
No.
usually obviously the
Shadowfall
first person.
stories.
I don't
Gameplay,
really,
right?
Yeah, I found our stories relevant.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was probably obviously like mostly everybody's main concern, right? Would Guerrilla Games be able to make a good story that would actually be like worth telling and like different than their previous games like Killzone? So yeah, the story was actually like really surprising because, well, I'm not completely done yet, but like from basically everything that I've played, I've enjoyed the story a lot. As I said earlier, the beginning where it opens, the first like 2 hours, I was really like sucked into the story. Like I really wanted to know what happened there. Like it did, and then I think it was around maybe like the 5th or so hour, like it kind of like went down a little bit, like not too bad, but like a little bit. But yeah, and then like, but later on in the game, it kind of picks back up again, and then like you basically learn about like, you know, the past, about like how, you know, basically how the old people have the machines and like what happened to the world and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's a fantastic game.
yeah,
I think the way they tackled it, like for different play styles, is really good. I guess you could say with the skill tree, not really, but just in the way that you can go to the main quest if you want to. Like for those people that like the linear levels, there are definitely some linear levels into this game, especially in the first 2 hours, I'd say. And just in general, I never really liked RPGs much. I mean, I really liked Witcher 3 for what I played, like the first 2 hours of it, but I was playing on PC, so like it was kind of weird, and like it was at a time where I was like, you know, moving on, like, or just not moving on, but like just had a lot, and I never really came back to it, which I'm planning on doing so once I get through some of these games. But just the way that, you know, if you want to read every single thing you find, you can do that. I know Pyro did that. I was watching his live stream. Or if you just want to hear every single audio, you know, log, there's going to be some insight on what happened. And yeah, it gives a real sense of like, I guess, environment there that, you know, BioShock does it, I think, the best, but definitely I don't think Horizon is bad at all with the audio logs, and it's really cool.
yeah, I think it's cool. It just like adds more insight, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some secrets to find in locations, and yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I'm definitely like really excited to like once I finish the story of Horizon, I'm just gonna keep exploring the game because there's so much to do in the world, like so many different types of missions, of course. I mean, like the game doesn't really do like a lot of new things that we haven't seen before. Like it does take the principles of these other games we've seen before, like Ubisoft games where you know, we have the open world, and then there's like tons of missions that you can complete, like climbing tall necks. Then there's the bandit camps, and then the, you know, like outposts or whatever.
It doesn't really reinvent the wheel; it more redefines it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the cauldrons though. Those things are cool.
Oh yeah, let's not go into too much spoilers about that stuff, but like, man,
Yeah, true.
when I first went into that first one,
Yeah.
man,
I mean, I've only been into one, so.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm gonna find more.
I mean, I guess a lot of people have talked about it, so it's not bad, but
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a highlight of the game for me.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I think I actually liked the game a lot more after I beat the story, because I felt like, essence, like I'm always someone that likes story the most out of anything, really. So I had that always that you know grip to finish it off. So when I was playing things, I always like knew that, you know, I want to make my way over there eventually. But after the story, I can just kind of like set loose and just roam the world and just do what I want. So I actually liked the game for like the 10 hours I played after beating the game, the main story. That makes sense, but yeah, that's definitely like, it was awesome.
Well, Horizon handles story and characters really well. It sort of makes you latch on to Aloy as a character, and the more it's one of those games, the more hours you put into it, the more you like a character, but more that you enjoy the game. I felt like the more hours I was putting in, the the more I was enjoying the game. Even though largely the side missions and the side activities are largely repetitive, because the gameplay is so much fun, I didn't find them like a chore like I would in Ubisoft games. Like, I enjoyed Watch Dogs 2. I think it's got great side missions, but the gameplay is just so watered down compared to something like GTA. It's just basically kind of a clone, but done in a worse kind of way, that I just didn't enjoy what I was doing. So spending like 30 hours with that game was not nearly as fun as spending 50 hours with Horizon, even though I'm doing the same things. Because the gameplay is so good, I was just having so much more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it's not a chore going for these. I mean, it still has that kind of thing where, you have to kind of like cross these quests off your list. But the way they do it, I think, is a lot, I guess, more fun and original, I guess. Even though you're kind of doing the same things in some instances, definitely feels a lot more, I guess, fun and not like you're doing a chore, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, it's less of like if you enjoy fighting the robots, because the gameplay from a mechanical standpoint, I honestly think Horizon's a masterpiece. I think it's got such fluid gameplay mechanics and various combat systems, and that made playing the game so much more fun. And fighting like every different species of robots. I mean, I didn't like the human AI. I thought the human AI were fucking retarded, to be quite honest.
Right.
But the robot AI I thought was really good. I noticed that I came up against a group of sawtooths, and one thing that really stood out to me, I was honing in on this one sawtooth because I wanted to take them out individually, so I don't get overwhelmed. And I was fighting this one sawtooth that was in front of me. It was sort of like staring at me, walking to the side. And then I turned around and saw the other two were like closing in on me as well, like sort of narrowing out the escape routes. And I just thought that was so cool, the way they sort of hone in on you as a pack. Like, the robot AI in that game is so good, but the human AI is stupid.
Yeah, they're like, the way they act is just like a pack of animals, just robotic. It's just nice. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, it's more natural. It's really good.
Yeah, there's like one instance where I like ran up to them and they like all saw me and I just like ran back into a bush and they're just like, oh, where did she go? She's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the robots.
They definitely act like real animals, and they act more, I guess. To me, when I'm fighting them, they act a lot more smart than the actual humans do. Which is funny. But,
yeah. Okay, so I mean, do you guys still want to talk a bit about Zelda, or like we pretty much talked everything about Zelda?
I have
already?
nothing really to add since I only have the case. But
Yeah.
So
and then there's me.
cases are pretty small, so there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's me. It's just completely useless because I've not even played either of the two main games that we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting here just listening to you all talking about it. I mean, I will
Okay.
get Horizon, but I just don't know when.
Yeah.
Probably within the next few weeks, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, you're pretty busy, right, with your like job and school and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, because I work most of the weekends, like the only real days I get to play games are the Wednesdays and the Fridays because they're the only 2 days I have off college.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't get a whole lot of time.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so next topic. 2017 is looking to be the best year in gaming. So we can quickly talk about the new releases of this week. Ghost Recon Wildlands and Nier Automata. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Automata.
Yeah,
I think it's Automata, isn't it?
yeah, something like that.
I don't know. But yeah, I know Nier got like a really good Metacritic score. I think it was like
Yeah, it has an 89.
yeah, 89,
currently.
which is
Oh,
really
is it
good.
89 now? Oh shit.
I feel like many people overlook these like Japanese style games, but like
Yeah,
yeah,
like
they're
if
actually
you
cool.
know-
I mean, they're not necessarily for me. Like I haven't really tried too many of them out, but yeah, they're obviously some people like them. So
Yeah, I'm not planning on getting near anytime soon, just because of how many games I have.
Yeah, me too.
have right now that I'm playing. But yeah,
still have a huge backlog of games that I haven't
Right.
even played yet.
I still
so.
want to finish Shadow of Mordor sometime. Like
Yeah, I know. I want to get that too. I'm just like I want to get that before Shadow of War comes out, but
yeah.
yeah, I still have so many other games I need to finish first. So yeah, we'll see
you
how
get
it
for,
goes.
like $10 now. I think it's awesome.
Oh,
for
really?
that price,
Yeah, okay. And also Ghost Recon Wildlands. So, do you guys have anything to say about
Oh,
Ghost Recon
God,
Wildlands?
no.
You know, that's so Right, online, do you want to go
Anybody-
first? Because I know you pretty much enjoyed the beta, didn't you?
No, I did not enjoy the beta. I only enjoyed it when I played with friends and not like just talk. Like I felt like I was having more fun just talking to the person on party chat than I was in the actual beta.
Yeah.
So,
This fucking
there's that.
podcast has more depth than the game, I swear
right, our
down.
podcast is probably more fun than playing the game. Yeah,
Sure.
I mean it's enjoyable to like. I'm not gonna trash on the game completely, but if you're playing this game solo, it's not gonna be for you really.
Yeah,
Really,
because
it's
it seems
not
like
bad when you're playing with friends, I could say.
is it kind of like the Division, like where, like not that kind of sense where like you need to grind
It's not
and
as
stuff.
grindy as the Division.
Yeah,
it is,
but like-
the game
There is a way to beat the game. There are missions and stuff, so
It's a lot less grindy.
that's the thing to me. Like, you're paying $60 and it's gonna be fun, but like once you've beat all the missions, how many times can you like fly a plane and jump out and have fun with your friends until
true.
that starts to wear off?
Because
Yeah,
basically you're just then paying $60 just to communicate with your friends, just
Right.
free. So.
Okay. I mean, like, I just feel like Ghost Recon Wildlands is the type of game where if you don't have friends playing with you, it's just like it's a waste of time.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
it's
completely
boring,
bash
you know.
on it because it is decent when you're playing with friends and it's pretty cool. But
Yeah. Because I was
The
like,
thing is that the whole trend now is that everyone moans about people moaning about Ubisoft games, but Ghost Recon Wildlands objectively is fucking mediocre. Like, the game is another copy-paste third-person shooter in another open-world setting that we have seen so much before. Yeah, 4-player co-op is fun, but 4-player co-op then means that the story is just took back a notch. And from what I played and from what I've seen of the story, it's okay. The main villain is slightly interesting, but the gameplay is like it's not frustrating. It's just there's such a tactical element to it which makes it more fun playing with friends than AI,
Yeah.
because the AI are helpful but fucking stupid. But it's fun playing with friends. Alone, because the story doesn't hold up, because the AI don't hold up, it's just not fun, and it's another open world that feels not dense at all. All the side missions are identical to each other. It's just go here, tag a supply, get out. Go here, kill a group of enemies, get out. Rinse, repeat for the next 60 hours, and that's what makes Ghost Recon mediocre. It's not because it's a Ubisoft game. It could have been from any developer, and it would have been the same shitty game. But people like look at that as, oh, you're just hating on it because it's Ubisoft. No, it's a mediocre game from an objective standpoint. Not to say that people won't have fun with it, but it just went for me at all.
yeah, like the thing to me as well is like you're doing all these missions and it's like really seamless, but like there's not any of those cool moments like in Watch Dogs 2 when you're playing those cool single player missions where you're like, you know, I guess you could say the one at like the apartment at the very top that they showed off for E3. That was really cool to play. Like, there's nothing of that in Ghost Recon. It's just, you know, you play the game you want, and by the time you get out of there, there's like nothing really cool at all. And it's just like, oh, mission complete. Go to this other place to kill all these enemies, or go over here and extract this guy. It's like, well, there's nothing really like, I don't know, worth doing it for and interesting and spicing it up at all. And,
No, it felt like all the main missions were fucking identical to each other. Like every single one, not one single mission stood out as, oh, that was really fun. No, they're all just the exact same. And the fucking vehicle mechanics, oh my god. Did anyone
way.
notice how fucking floaty they were?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I've noticed that, yeah.
You can't even like crash your car. You always land on all four wheels.
It's not even that. It's like the cars themselves are just bitches. Like, you just touch, you lick a tree and it blows up. Like, it's just... Oh, don't like that game. Don't like that game.
Yeah.
all right. I mean, well, for me, like, I honestly like well, I don't know. I mean, like you said earlier, it's not just because it's like a Ubisoft game, but like, I really haven't played many Ubisoft games recently. Mainly the fact that I got kind of tired of their games, because even though it is like you said, it's not just the fact that it's a Ubisoft game. They do, like, most of their games do follow the same type of principle, right? Like the open world.
No, exactly. If Ghost Recon was from Naughty Dog, that it still would have been shit on because it was an average game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think even more so, probably, just because
Even
of the
more
fact
so, yeah,
that
because the
Naughty
high
Dog-
standards of the developer. Yeah, it's because
it's
you
70,
don't
yeah.
give us a reason to think they're going to deliver a masterpiece. Watch Dogs 2 was the best game from them since fucking Rayman Legends or Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Or Siege.
Every game in
I like
between has just been so mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege was pretty surprising by how good that
Rainbow
was.
Six Siege was good, but that got better over time at launch. That was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 76 on Metacritic right now for Wildlands, so it's kind of like, I don't even know. Like, I probably wouldn't give it a 7.6, but I mean, I haven't played the full game, so
It's like
Yeah.
6, 7 out of 10 somewhere. It's like a mediocre at best.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
last Ubisoft game I played was probably like Unity. So I mean,
No.
Oh, I can understand that, then.
Yeah.
I mean, I got
I understand why you
No,
dropped
but
off
it
there.
was shit.
yeah. It's like I played Unity. I'm like, all right, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I got Syndicate, but I haven't played it yet because I just got it on a sale. So
I see. Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
the same as Unity, a little bit better, different setting. That's all.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, I haven't touched it yet. It's literally just sitting
After
in
4,
my hard
it's
drive.
been like horrible the way Assassin's Creed's been.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I think four's the
I
best in series. Everyone says 2. I could stand 2.
I
got
like-
platinum, but I just didn't enjoy it.
well, 2 and 4 are obviously like
I love.
the 2 best ones,
Yeah.
easily.
Last time I played 2 was when I was a kid, and like when I was like 10, and I love that game. So I can't really say because I haven't played it recently, like for an objective standpoint. But
Yeah.
2 and 4 are definitely probably the highlights. Yeah.
I mean, I just remember
Yeah,
like I
I
played
don't know.
I played 2 and I was like, I don't really remember when, but like it was when I was much younger, and it was like my first Assassin's Creed game, and like I was just like immediately hooked by, because like back then like they actually had a really good story,
Yeah, I had a decent story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
They were-
and like ever since
Yeah.
the story actually like went downhill a lot. So
Yeah.
I
It's
mean
just
back
the way
then,
Ubisoft treats. Yeah.
yeah, but like the Assassin's Creed 2 story, I just found like really intriguing and stuff. And it also had like all these amazing moments that you actually remember. Like there's still a few moments that I still remember from the game. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
and
Yeah.
like just the other ones, they just didn't have that for me. I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 I still really enjoyed because I just thought that like we saw that obviously the way that Assassin's Creed went with the annualized releases, of course, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time we got to like Assassin's Creed 3, many people had gotten tired of the series because it was getting like annualized releases every year.
Yeah.
And then like by the time it's like Assassin's Creed 3 was finished, they immediately announced Assassin's Creed 4 like only like what, like a few months
Yeah.
after. And
Even
then
though 4
like
was actually
Yeah, I remember.
but like the thing
Yeah.
with Assassin's Creed 4 that I found so much fun was that they took like the principles from the other games, like they took what was good from it and they basically translated that to a new setting, like the
Yeah.
That kind
you
of
know.
suited it.
the pirate area, but yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought it was really
I
cool
thought,
because it was like it added a lot of new like gameplay innovations, right? We saw like the naval combat, which was really fun. Like I just had a lot of fun, taking down ships and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
mean, the
that's what-
annualized releases sort of like ruined Assassin's Creed 3. Like, I have this impression that it would have been such a better game had it not been annualized and just butchered, then released in 2012. Because don't forget, Assassin's Creed 2 was like, what, 2008?
2009.
Nine?
9, yeah. It was
Yeah.
2007
Yeah.
and then 2009.
2009, so...
And then from then-
Assassin's
and then
Creed 3
Brotherhood
3
and-
years after that.
Yeah. Brotherhood in 2010 and then Revelations in 2011.
Damn.
Because it's just like I remember they said it's like from fan reception, right? They said Ezio was such a great protagonist that they weren't done telling his story and they wanted to continue.
Yeah.
And they basically concluded his story in like Revelations with like tie-in with Altair from the first game.
No, the endings, I'm not going to spoil what it was to Revelations, but it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed, for me personally, has never, ever been about gameplay. Like, from a stealth point of view, yeah, it's a very good game. Once you get spotted, the game is shit. I think the hand-to-hand combat is awful in that game, but the stealth mechanics are amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember, well, Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, they, like, changed up the gameplay a bit, like, well, not completely, like, they changed up the, like, how you fight, like, the Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, they had, like, I think it was holding R1 and then square to counter, so you literally, whenever someone attacks, you literally just hold R1 and click square to counter.
Yeah.
But, like,
Requiring no skill.
yeah, and then same thing with they try to change it with Assassin's Creed 3 and 4. Literally, what you do is when someone attacks, you hit circle to block them, and then hit square
Yeah.
again to just take them out. I mean, it was just really simple and basic, I guess. So
Like Rogue and 4 came out. I think it was 4 and Rogue. And it's like they had 2 games for Assassin's
think
Creed.
it was
Not
Unity
1
and
year. That
Rogue.
was ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, it was Unity and Rogue.
Unity,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
it was
game.
Unity.
That's right.
Yeah,
That was just crazy. Like, why 2 Assassin's Creed games per year? Like,
I think it was just the fact that
I
I think it was just the fact that because they had like the Unity only for next gen, right? They wanted to finish
Yeah.
off the PS3 with one more game. But if you like, I actually got Rogue and played it because back then I actually liked Assassin's Creed that much that I played like all those games.
Mm-hmm.
So I played Rogue and it's literally Assassin's Creed 4 with like a different paste on color.
Watered down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just made a short story that's like 6 hours long.
That's crazy.
And then they made new environments, but it's literally like all the gameplay mechanics and everything like that. It's all the same thing.
I don't understand why they couldn't just leave it with 4 because that was like a really good Assassin's Creed game. But
Yeah.
like,
I don't understand why they couldn't have left it as a trilogy, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's why I'm excited for this year's Assassin's Creed, because it's had, like, another year in development. They've, like, booked
Yeah,
the trends
so-
of the
so
annual
basically-
releases and went biannual.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not even excited about the series Assassin's Creed because like I've been burned by that game too much. I'm not even looking forward to it really.
Yeah.
I mean, for me,
Well, to
yeah.
somewhat extent, I'm not like over the moon. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Assassin's
I know.
Creed, but like I am to somewhat degree excited that
me,
it's had an extra year.
To me, it's gonna be all
it'll
about
be
like Red
interesting.
Dead comes out this year, but like it'll be a game I like. If it gets good reviews, that's gonna be great, and I can't wait to try it out because it's Assassin's Creed and it can be done well. But
I think
I guess it's just a wait and see.
I think for Assassin's Creed, it's like as long as they innovate, then it'll be fun. Like we saw how
Yeah.
with the innovation with Black Flag, right? Took it to a new setting, and it was so much fun. So maybe I think if they do something like that, like what they're doing now, taking it to Egypt, it's something completely different that we haven't seen before. So that's
Yeah.
potentially
Yeah.
something that could be like bring it back, I guess. I don't know because like for me, I've always wanted to see like an Assassin's Creed in Japan. I just think it would make really cool or something. I don't know because it's something
well,
different, right?
The,
Like
the new Assassin's Creed will fail or succeed based on its setting. It won't fail or succeed based on its gameplay because the gameplay in Black Flag was no more like outstanding. It was slightly more
Yeah.
refined than like Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, but it wasn't like, oh, this is a new revelation in the Assassin's Creed series. The setting made that game stand
Yeah,
out.
true.
Because don't forget, you're going around this world for 50 hours. In that time, you'll have about what? 5-6 hours of cutscenes, maybe 10-20 hours of story. So for the most part, you're just going to be running around in that world, taking in what you're seeing. So the new Assassin's Creed game really has got to pick a good setting, and I think the top three would be Rome, Japan, or Egypt. I mean, preferably Egypt.
yeah,
but I mean,
they've already been to Rome though, right? So
well, there was the whole Venice, Italy thing. Yeah.
yeah, so
it is close. Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I'd want to see Japan or something because like it's something so different. Like we haven't really seen it before, so
Yeah.
that's why.
it also has to be technically good. Like it
Yeah,
had so
true.
many bugs in Unity. It was like such a joke.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know though. It just really is so broken.
You need to nail the
Like
launch
even
of
if
it.
you return to it now, it still feels bad. Like I know they fixed a lot of stuff with it, obviously, but still, just I don't know. Like just the moment you start playing that game, and you just start like walking down, and you like see everything, all these pop-ins and stuff, just feels so
Yeah.
broken.
2014 was one of the worst years in game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're
And
like
Modern
going a
came out, but
bit
yeah.
off topic, but yeah, I don't know.
That's true. We've been talking about Public Horizon.
Okay, I don't know. But like 2017, yeah, 2017 is just looking to be an amazing year, of course. Obviously, like we've had an amazing start so far, obviously. We got those like Resident Evil in January, Gravity Rush 2, I believe, and then Horizon and Zelda, and now Nier Automata,
Yeah.
which is good. And then we're going to get Uncharted The Lost Legacy later this year, Crash Bandicoot, Red Dead Redemption, potentially Detroit Become Human at the end of the year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully Sony
I
has
hope
some
so.
game.
I'm really
but
excited
They
for
don't
it.
really need to. Yeah.
I mean, because, like, they have so many upcoming exclusives planned, but the thing is, we really don't know when any of them are going to be coming out.
To be honest, I don't think that any of the exclusives are going to be coming out this fall. Like if you think like Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption 2, like there's so many big games coming out this fall
Yeah.
that I think Sony's probably going to pass again this year just based on history alone. But sad to see. I mean, I hope that I think if there is a game Detroit might come out, I think
Yeah.
Detroit's possible.
I think Detroit has the highest. I mean,
Yeah,
well, Detroit only finished
yeah.
filming literally, like, less than a month ago,
Oh,
if you guys didn't know.
did not know that.
Yeah, they literally only finished filming, like, a month ago. So, I don't know.
What do you guys think about God of War? Do you think that can make it?
I always thought that game.
I mean, I
Yeah,
heard
I
about
was
that
like-
thing where they said God of War, like, it was already finished, like, completely playable, like, a few months ago. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
If
it
they're
can be a
just-
broken mess and still be playable from start to end anyway.
That's
so
true.
that doesn't really tell you a whole lot in
True,
terms of.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like,
Well, I mean, with 2017, it's a case of like, from a business standpoint, I think Sony won't release an exclusive if Red Dead comes out this year. If it turns out Red Dead gets delayed into early 2018, then yeah, that's the time to either release either Detroit, which is the most likely, or even Days Gone, which I think is going to come out early next year if it's not at the end of this year.
Yeah.
But Sony's really got to pick their launch windows for games like Uncharted, Detroit, and Days Gone really carefully, because the amount of big games that are coming out and the amount of big games, not only this year, but the ones that are getting pushed into next year, they've got to be careful that they're not having like almost like a civil war and competing with each other's release games. Like Horizon and Zelda were competing, but that's two different console wars. Whereas trying to compete with Days Gone and Detroit, that's a whole different ball game. So it's down to Sony to pick the right release window, which for me it wouldn't be at the end of the year if Red Dead does come out, because Red Dead's just going to kill everything that surrounds it.
Yeah.
But if it gets delayed, then yeah, go for it, but only pick one. Don't get greedy and release both, because you've already got so much coming out, and there's already so much third-party games coming out at the end of the year as well.
Yeah,
Do you
okay.
think that Red Dead Redemption 2 will make the end of the year, or do you think it will get delayed just based on Rockstar's past?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen that much of it. I mean, we've only seen one trailer, but nowadays it's like developers are starting to announce the games and release them earlier rather than saying, like, here's our game
That's a great thing.
10 years later, you know, like The Last Guardian. But, I mean, it's a tough one, because it depends on if they show a fully fledged gameplay trailer at E3, there's the possibility of it coming out this year. It depends on what we see between now and fall of the game. If we don't see much, probably guaranteed for next year, but
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
I think
Alright.
they'll probably be at Sony's conference, to say the least, but yeah, we can move on.
Yeah,
to
I just think that like if Red Dead Redemption comes out like at the end of the year, right? Maybe if Sony doesn't end up like bringing out any exclusives this fall, they'll just have like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy as their main thing.
Yeah, I could see that in Detroit. Maybe I don't think Uncharted will carry them through. I mean, I guess it depends how big
Yeah,
it is. But
I mean, yeah.
definitely, if it's like a 6-hour thing or an 8-hour, I don't think 8-hour, but if it's a pretty sizable thing, I definitely see them like bandwagoning out after that or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many exclusives, right? That we still don't know like when they're gonna be coming out. We have like Detroit, God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not expecting. Well, like Last of Us will probably come out like fall 2018.
I think that's
That's
pushing.
at the very end.
Death Stranding maybe
Yeah,
like early
I
2019.
honestly think that the Last of Us Part, early 2019, I'd say, just because of how early it is. And
I say May 2019 because I can see them announcing it at like March and it'll get delayed. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, so basically, yeah, there's those 4 exclusives that those 4 exclusives will probably be spread out around 2018. I'm guessing if it doesn't release this year.
Yeah, Sony
Because we know,
might get
I'm pretty sure
everyone for
Spider-Man and Days Gone are off the list for this year for sure. Because I made that video about Spider-Man PS4 and like it actually blew up. It's like if you search up Spider-Man PS4
Yeah,
on
I
YouTube
noticed that
now.
yesterday. It's on like 6,000 views. This thing.
Yeah, I know. It actually
Yeah.
blew up like crazy. So it's like you search up Spider-Man PS4 now, it pops up. So, but like there was like this one guy arguing with me. He's like, "Oh, they've already said for sure it's coming out in 2017." I'm just like, when did they say that? They've never said that one time. Like what? It's like and then he's like, "Oh yeah, on the PlayStation magazine, it was Spider-Man was on there, so it's coming out for sure." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, the box art was in video game stores. It's coming out in 2017." I'm just like, "Bro, chill. Do you not like? Oh come on, are you serious?"
Simple.
Like
I think Days Gone has a chance of making this year. Actually, like I think it could.
for
Just
Yeah,
because
well,
we saw
I
that
mean,
gameplay
Spider-Man
demo, but I would
Spider-Man
say-
for Spider-Man.
No, I'm saying Days Gone.
Oh, okay, Days Gone. I mean, Days Gone. Yeah, Days Gone has.
Because
Well,
not gameplay, and I guess.
I mean, Days Gone just seems like it's really far off from finished. Like, just from that demo we saw at,
that demo just then
at
looks that
E3.
finished, that's all.
Yeah.
it just looked like it was really rough on the edges. Like they could
I
do
do
so
think God of
much
War
to
will come
fix it up.
before it, for sure. I think. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the ideal situation for Sony at least would be get out the Lost Legacy in September when doesn't been that much announced. Then in October, release either Days Gone or Detroit, just before that big window of COD, Red Dead, the big games at the end of the year. I think in Spider-Man's case, that is 100% summer 2018 because they're going to want to have the hype of the movie surrounding the game so that everyone's
Well, isn't the
getting
movie-
excited, not
wait.
just for
The
the
movie
game,
comes
but
out
for
this year.
Spider-Man as a whole.
The movie's coming
It
out
would
this
make
year, isn't
more
it?
sense to release it next year because that's one of their big exclusive games. But they'll need a system seller for the end of the year because let's not forget Scorpio comes out quite soon this year, and the majority of console gamers are going to be trying to pick it up for Red Dead because obviously Red Dead's going to run a hell of a lot better on the Scorpio than say like the Pro or the base PS4.
If you have an Xbox and you're buying a Scorpio for Red Dead, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't understand.
No, well, I mean, it'd be an upgrade purchase. You'd obviously have to sell your old Xbox or something.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
see the
true.
point in having both.
Yeah, I haven't even bought a Pro, and I don't even plan to buy a Pro. Maybe even to like the PS5 point, but yeah, that's not really worth the purchase from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now it's
No.
like the differences aren't really noticeable at all. So
Yeah,
unless you really put it side to side and look like in depth.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just back to in terms of those exclusives, right? So, I think if any of those 4, God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man, or Days Gone, If any of those are coming out this year, it'll be Detroit, because I think Spider-Man is summer 2018 for sure, around there at least.
Yeah, sure.
God of War could either be no, I don't think they're gonna release two. They're not. Nah, they're gonna release God of War probably spring 2018. My guess, spring 2018.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe they could do like Days Gone, Spider-Man both in the summer, but like on opposite ends of the summer, if you get what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so like one in May, one in
Yeah.
August or something like that.
it's just like, I don't know, Days Gone seems like it's way like not even close to finished yet.
E3 to me is more going to be like, I want to see dates for these games rather than
Yeah,
Sony games.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
besides Infamous. but
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
no, I
you-
mean,
yeah, you know what I
Sucker
mean.
Punch,
You know,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
basically talking about 2017. So yeah, 2017 is looking really awesome. So basically, we just reached the 1 hour mark for this. I think we're gonna conclude it soon, but we still have one more thing to talk about, and that is our current most anticipated game. So we just earlier talked a bit about exclusives and stuff, but yeah, we're just gonna keep talking about our most anticipated game. So if you guys wanna tell me your most anticipated game and basically why it's your most anticipated game as of right now.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar. There you go.
All right. Yeah, Red
That's if it
Rockstar.
makes it this year, but I think I'm looking forward to that just because to me, like, Rockstar's up there with Naughty Dog on the developers I trust, at least no initial launch. We can go into GTA Online, but like, yeah, it's different. But yeah, I mean, GTA 5 is awesome, and just all Rockstar games are awesome. I'm looking forward to playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and yeah, it's up there. I mean, you saw my top 10 games, and it was like number 2, so I love that. I can't wait.
What
to
was your
play it.
number one?
Last of Us Part 2, because Joel
Then
and
why?
Ellie and, yeah.
Wait. So it's your most anticipated of 2017?
No, for games upcoming in like.
Oh,
next
you're
couple years.
so it's your most. Oh, okay. Then why'd you put Last of Us
Wait,
first?
what's the question for 2017 or just?
No, just in general. Just in general.
Oh, for sure, Last of Us Part 2. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Blue?
I'm reckoning that. Yeah, it's gonna be up there. With,
Okay. All right, that's cool. Any of you guys?
Well, I mean, in terms of 2017, if we do see Red Dead Redemption, then definitely Red Dead. As a whole, The Last of Us Part 2, I think that's quite obvious because that game is going to be a masterpiece. But there's so many games that I'm just excited for, not like necessarily like top 3 games. Like I think Sonic Mania doesn't get talked about as much as it should because I'm a huge retro Sonic fan. I love the way the game looks. It looks like it's going back to its roots because the last 10 years of Sonic has been dog shit. In terms of 2017, yeah, I'd say probably Red Dead if it does come out. It was Zelda, and now that's came out and I'm currently playing it. Other than Red Dead, I couldn't.
It's kind of hard to say, right? Because we really don't know what else is coming out at the end of the year. So.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, we'll have to wait until E3 to get a full like set of release
Yeah.
dates. But other than that, probably Uncharted Lost Legacy.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense too. Yeah. Well, for
Oh, yeah,
me,
that's right. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's just we have Uncharted: Lost Legacy coming out this year. I'm super excited for that, even though it's just like like a smaller game than all these other games, but like it's still Uncharted, right? So, yeah. Obviously Uncharted is my favorite gaming franchise, so that's my favorite. So, Uncharted's up there, and if Red Dead Redemption comes out at the end of this year, that's probably my most anticipated game of this year. Simply because obviously, I haven't played the first Red Dead. Have you guys?
No, I
Yeah,
played a couple
yeah.
hours.
I mean, it's just one of those games where, like, back in the days, I mean, I got my PS3 pretty late, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm not that old, right? So, I mean, I got my PS3 pretty late, so, like, I honestly only had my PS3 for, like, maybe, like, 2 years before the PS4 already came out. I mean, I still have my PS3, right? But I don't really use it anymore, so. Red Dead was just one of those games I never got around to playing. So, yeah, I'm really, like, my hype level for Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably not as high as other people's simply because I haven't played the previous one, but I'm definitely like still interested in it, of course. So yeah, I hope that game still makes it out in 2017, but obviously if Rockstar needs the time and needs to delay it, then I'm okay with that too. And then in terms of just like most anticipated game in general, it has to be The Last of Us 2 because I remember back when I got my PS3, the games that got bundled with it were Uncharted, so I actually got really lucky because that's how I was introduced to Uncharted. because it was bundled with my PS3, and back then I really didn't know that much about gaming. So, Uncharted, and then The Last of Us was basically like the very first Naughty Dog that I actually saw announced, and like basically, saw the progress that it went through from being announced to all the way when the game was released. So yeah, that's Last of Us 2, my most anticipated game in general. So yeah. What about you, Dan?
I'd say for 2017, probably the same as you guys, Red Dead Redemption. I'm still 50-50 on whether it's going to release this year or not. I'm probably more on the side that it probably won't.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard anything of it as of yet, but then again, we have E3, so that could change everything. And
Yeah.
I'd say, Uncharted Lost Legacy as well, because, I mean, it's Uncharted, and it might be, the last thing we ever get for Uncharted from Naughty Dog, so obviously I'd say that. And then, in general, Last of Us Part 2, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, probably Detroit Become Human, only because I loved Heavy Rain so much. And even though I felt Beyond Two Souls was really disappointing for me personally, like that game was so average,
Yeah.
I have the confidence that
I mean,
Quantic
it was
Dream
pretty
will
mixed,
learn
right?
from them.
So
Yeah, I didn't like the game at all, just from the gameplay standpoint, and also just from a story and how the narrative was told. It was just done in such a weaker way in comparison to Heavy Rain. But I think Quantic Dream will learn from the mistakes they made from that game. And I mean, from what I've seen of Detroit so far, it looks really good. So those would probably be my two picks. And also Death Stranding, just because, we don't even know when the hell that game's coming out anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll be excited for that game when I see like more gameplay and stuff. I mean, I know it's gonna be great because of Kojima, and it's definitely up there. But I'm trying not to get too hyped for it because Kojima's known for making really good games, and I just want to have my expectations low.
Well, he said it's an open world action game, which is quite fucking interesting because it's another open world game. But
So there's like a twist to it, so that's really
Metal Gear Solid 5 was a really good game. It wasn't quite a masterpiece like the previous games were, but I mean,
No.
I trust Kojima. He's a great guy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You just need to give him time with this stuff, because I reckon had MGS5 had like an extra year of development, I think that game would have reached that masterpiece level, because you could clearly tell when playing that game that there was so much stuff taken out because of
I
code
noticed
bombing.
that so much. There's so many scenes. I was like, hang on, wait, what? Where the fuck's this? Where the fuck's that? It's like, I completely understand what you're saying.
So wait, I just want to ask you quickly. Have you guys so you guys played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have it, right? Like I got it from game sharing and I haven't played it yet. So did you guys play the other ones?
I played
all
before. But
Oh damn. Okay.
I played all the Metal.
So do you think
Metal Gear Solid games?
So do you
but
think
not
it's
the original
necessary?
Metal Gear
Do you think
games.
it's necessary to play those?
To get context
I'd
of the
say-
characters, but it's a great point to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
I think
doesn't
you're fine.
necessarily like. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't. You don't need to have played the other ones, and then yet again the timeline's like a bit weird, because I mean 3 is a prequel to the whole series essentially. So you don't need to have played the other ones.
But it's kind of a case of like with Zelda, if you haven't played the other ones, you'll kind of be like, why do people think it's so great? Or you might see it as like the way Angry Joe gave it a 10, but to me, it really wasn't. From a gameplay perspective, yeah, it really was. From a story perspective, in comparison to the older games, no way in fucking hell. Like Metal Gear Solid 3, maybe 4 having far too many cutscenes.
I love 4.
No, it's a great game. It's just I just found it had too many cutscenes.
Well, isn't
it's not
4
like that,
isn't
and
4
then
like
it's like-
70% cutscenes and 30% gameplay or something like that?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
something like that.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that. Like I remember a lot of people expected 5 to be like more about the story and less on the gameplay, and it was like the complete opposite when it actually came out.
Yeah.
The Big Boss story as a whole is just way less interesting than the Solid Snake story, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great point to jump into, but you'll need context to who everyone is. But it's not like it's kind of like the way Uncharted 4 was. You can jump in, you know what's going on. It's just you don't know the character motivations. You don't have context to the character's history, stuff like that. But I mean, it's a great game.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's the Man on Fire in MGS5, and if you've played Metal Gear Solid 3, you'll know who he is. But if you haven't, you'll be like, who the fuck's this person? And it won't have as much. And there are a few other stuff in the game like that. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm definitely, once I finish up a few games, I'm probably going to check it out. Once again, I still have so many games I need to finish, right? So,
Yeah.
Just don't have the time, you know. Honestly, I
Yeah.
wish I had more time. I think that's everyone's problem, right? Not enough time to play all these games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
No, college is a bitch. I need so much more time to play. There's so many like retro games that I missed out on because obviously I'm only 17, but I was a massive fan of the old retro games. I mean, this will be another topic, but I mean, there's so many games, like basically half the Final Fantasy series I still need to play. Tactics Ogre Online, Wild Arms is considered one of the best JRPGs of all time. I had that game, sold it because as a 5-year-old I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, there's just so many games I need to go back and play.
All
Or
right.
at least put more time into.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. That makes sense. Okay, so we basically have gone over all the 4 topics that we meant to talk about today in today's episode of Gaming at its Core. So, yeah, that looks like it's going to be the end of our very first episode. Is there anything else you guys would like to add?
Just to give us feedback in the comments down below, or I guess we can do viewer requested topics on.
Oh yeah, okay. So if there's anything you guys would like us to talk about, make sure to leave it in the comments, and we'll make sure to talk about it in the next episode of Gaming at its Core, which might be next week. We'll see how it goes. But yeah.
Yeah.
The Starks is going to be in as well, don't forget that.
Yeah, but we're just gonna try and do this as
Feminism
often and regular as
ranting.
possible.
Just make that the title of if we ever do next week's feminism rant.
Yeah.
Anyone interested in politics, please watch next week.
Okay.
Please, God.
Right.
All right. Okay. So yeah, as I said earlier, this is gonna be the end of the very first episode. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know everything down below in the comments. And yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to say, just to conclude
You
the
guys are
episode.
watching on my channel. I'll link you guys in the description below to go check them out. And yeah, this has been the end. So
Yeah.
I guess we can do our final closure.
Okay, Blue.
Yep.
Same here. Just
All right.
I'll leave everyone's channel
Yeah,
link in the
same.
description. Thanks for watching. I hope you watch the next one. And yeah.
All right,
See
Dan.
Bye.
What a way to end it. No, but we can't call it. Well done, guys. Well done.
All right, we're done. Okay, we're done. We're done.
Okay, I'm pausing.
All right, cool.
Bye. That's funny.
Oh,
Oh,
my back.
my sense of comedy is shit.
The thing that sucks is that my Yeti.
We should have planned an ending for Greg.
I know. I don't know what to say,
Oh, we'll just say bye, yeah.
bro. I don't know what to say at the end. I'm just like, okay. So
Thing that
yeah.
sucks